Hey there, this is Bill Judas of Armchair Arcade. I just want to take a quick moment to talk about a really fascinating discovery that was discussed on the Atari Age forums. I'll have links to that and the other things that I talk about in this video, in the notes. Now, what this is about is the game Hover Force 3D. Mattel had introduced Hover Force 3D at the January 1984 CES show. And the idea was you would use these very cheap prism-based 3D glasses to get this really fascinating 3D effect in the game. The glasses were clear, they didn't mess with color or anything. And as long as you stuck with basically blues and reds, reds would pop out, blues would descend. It was very, subtle at times, but also convincing 3D effect. You didn't have to mess around with those ridiculous red-blue glasses. Now, obviously, buyers were excited about this, and Mattel's marketing wanted additional 3D games made. One of the ones that was talked about was a flight simulator game. And obviously, like a flight simulator, racing, that would have all worked out great for this type of technology. Unfortunately, 1984 was also the year that the great video game crash was in full effect, and by the summer of '84, Mattel Electronics closed. So, long story short, INTV ended up with the assets. They released the remaining Mattel stock, and then they eventually started production on new hardware and games. So what happened was they commissioned Hover Force for a 1986 release. The finished game was basically the artificial intelligence was cleaned up, and a few other tweaks were made. But the game, Hover Force 3D was basically left intact. There was no, specialized 3D programming to worry about or anything. Since it was based around colors, the game was released as is. Unfortunately, INTV had to really have these streamlined operations, so they were unable to include the glasses with the games. So no one was really ever able to play the game the way that it was intended. But it turns out that a chance discovery, the technology behind the glasses, was actually used in later industrial uses, and also by toy companies. As a matter of fact, Crayola makes quite a bit of use of these glasses. This is an example from their 3D washable sidewalk chalk, which is available for $5 or $6 and comes with these glasses. These are kid-sized glasses. Of course, you can try to track down the larger size glasses, but you just put these on. You can see that they're clear, and if you look at Hover Force, or even this random picture with lots of red and blue, or if you look here at my keyboard with the LED lights, these look raised, and this blue panel here looks lower. So it's really an interesting effect. And even if you're not really into playing Hover Force the way it was meant to be played, these are actually kind of neat for other uses, and you can experiment yourself with red and blue. Even this shirt gives an effect if you look at it. So I'll have the links, like I said, in the notes, but that's a really fascinating discovery, and yet another reason why I love classic video games. Alright, until next time, take care.